Welcome to today's episode of Cascading Leadership. I am your friendly neighborhood talent strategy nerd, Dr. Jim, and today's episode is going to focus on the four things that organizations can do to be compliant with diversity requirements. This show or this episode is focused in on a subset in the US who are federal contractors. And for those who are unfamiliar with that group of employers, in order for you to maintain your federal contracts, you have to maintain compliance with the regulations that the OFCCP has in terms of your diversity initiatives and your good faith efforts. So this conversation, we're going to focus in on four things federal contractors can do to maintain their compliance when it comes to OFCCP. So the first thing that you can do to maintain your compliance is to implement an affirmative action plan. Now that will outline the steps that the contractor is going to take to ensure equal employment opportunity and diversity within the workplace. There are plenty of organizations that support you in those efforts, and that's certainly something that you can reach out to me directly or my co-host Lawrence, and we can direct you to some resources to help you with your compliance. The second thing that you can do to maintain compliance is to collect and maintain data on the gender, race, ethnicity of your employees, as well as the number of job applicants and hires. You need to be as comprehensive as possible on a number of demographic criteria and be able to demonstrate good faith efforts in terms of your outreach throughout the entire hiring funnel. And that way you can make sure that from a reporting perspective, you're doing everything that you can, or you're demonstrating good faith efforts. And the third thing that you can do to make sure that you're compliant from a diversity perspective is to conduct regular audits. You need to look at and examine, hey, what are the blockers and roadblocks that are preventing equal employment opportunities, and then take proactive action where necessary. There are tons of organizations that can support you in those efforts from a people, process, and technology perspective. Do your appropriate level of research. And if you don't know where to start, you can certainly look at reaching out to us directly, and we can point you to some resources as well. The fourth thing that you can do, and this should be pretty obvious, if you do have a request for information from OFCCP, make sure you're not ignoring those, respond to those in a timely manner, and participate in those compliance evaluations as required, and then that will maintain your good standing as a federal contractor. Pretty straightforward in terms of things that you can do from a federal contractor compliance perspective. And to recap the four things that you should be doing, make sure you're developing an AP plan, collect and maintain data across all of the demographic criteria to demonstrate your good faith effort, conduct regular self-audits, and identify areas where you can improve proactively. And then last but certainly not least, respond to any inbound requests that you get from OFCP. Thanks for joining us on this quick episode focusing in on the four key things that organizations can do to maintain their diversity compliance with OFCCP. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Tell a friend. We are looking at aggressively growing our show. We would appreciate your support. If you thought this episode was good, leave us a review. And until next time, we will catch you on the next edition of Cascading Leadership.